Hello, my name is Samantha Elizabeth Turlington, and I am playing the role of Leonata in Much Ado About Nothing from Open Air Shakespeare. It's a really interesting role. It's one of my first in the area for Shakespeare. I'm very excited about that. Recently, I was with New River Stage directing Honk, which was a wonderful musical. It's the story of the ugly duckling, and it was a privilege to work on that with such great people. Changing into this aspect of the show was really interesting, going from director to actor, because you're working on so many things as the director, and then all of a sudden you go to being an actor where you have a lot of focus, especially on character and text and all that. And transitioning from musical to, spoken text is kind of a big deal, because you have music, you have the lyrics to help you and the music to help you, and the musicians kind of help you in your acting, but with straight text, it's you and your focus, and you just have the text to interpret. So it's very exciting for me to get to work again on a project that requires such focus. I love working with Sarah, and happy to meet all of these other people and gain knowledge from their knowledge. For me, being that this is my first full-length Shakespearean play, going through each monologue and going through each scene of dialogue piece by piece and really examining what my character is saying, because you can never say something on stage that you don't know what it is. For me, it's putting what Shakespeare's text is telling me to say into my own terms. So sitting down with each monologue, reading a line, saying, okay, what does this line mean? Really defining it, finding devices in the monologues or finding devices in the text that help me communicate. And Shakespeare's brilliant. He's given us everything. He's given us all that we need to accomplish what he wanted, and throw in some of our own interpretations. But for me, my challenge comes in getting the text out. Sometimes, often in rehearsal, I get tongue-tied because of it's such an interesting language, and it's such a rich language. Often in rehearsal, I get tongue-tied because of it's such an interesting language, and it's such a rich language that most people today aren't used to speaking and aren't used to seeing. And beyond my small scene work that I've done with Shakespeare, that's about the extent of my knowledge. But I've had a blast learning all these different devices, learning so many new words, because Shakespeare uses a lot of words that I have no idea what they mean, and looking up new things, getting historical background to what I'm saying, and just learning so much. It's really enriching personally to be working on a project like this. There's a specific text that I work on in the play. A monologue, a rather long monologue, that is extremely emotionally charged. And for me personally, I'm not very old, but the person who is the character that I'm playing is a lot older than I am. So the text gives me a lot to work with. It puts me in a very emotional place just reading the text. Even if I was just sitting down reading it, it's very emotionally charged. There are a lot of lyrical devices in this text. The flow, the iambic pentameter, the flow of the speech, the style of language really helps you find that place charged. There are a lot of lyrical devices in this text. The flow, the iambic pentameter, the flow of the speech, the style of language really helps you find that place. At first, it was very difficult, but the more I explore the text and the more I find the story behind it, really comes through every single time, and I've been able to land that emotional state every single time. It's always a work in progress, but I find that the more I work through it, the better it gets. It's extremely interesting playing a role that was originally written for a man. As a woman, it's a completely different dynamic. As a man, the governor, the mayor, the head honcho in Messina. As a man, that's pretty well spoken for itself. You kind of get the picture. But for a woman, especially the play is set, we have set it in the 20s. So a woman in power like that in the 20s is unbelievable. It's amazing, and it brings a really strong Susan B. Anthony feminism rock-on feeling to the character, if you know what I mean. I see Leonata as a breath of fresh air as far as, contemporary characters, because you see often in contemporary plays very strong, powerful female characters, but very rarely in classical plays. So seeing this kind of character come to life, you know, in me and with me and working alongside of this character in her text really has been a privilege, and I enjoy it very much. Leonata's relationship with her daughter Hero is extremely interesting. I personally am very close to my mother. I honor my mother. I respect my mother. And my mother's a very gentle woman. She's a wonderful woman. So to be playing a mother that is so strong, perhaps in her relationship with her daughter a little too strong, it's an interesting dynamic. Yeah, Hero is young. She's 16, you know, young teenagers, a very interesting age. And, you know, having your mother be this strong power figure can be difficult. I can't imagine it was a very easy time for Hero. It's a loving relationship. I believe Leonata really loves her daughter. I believe that she wishes the best for her. She just wants the best for her daughter. You know, most parents want the best for their children. However, I feel that Leonata sometimes takes that a little too far, and mayhem potentially could ensue from that. I believe this show is important for everyone. You know, it's got a little something for everybody in it. It's got a ton of physical comedy. It's got some drama. As one of Shakespeare's comedies, it's kind of rare to have a pretty dramatic element to it, which is awesome. So if you like comedies, there's comedy, and if you like drama, there's drama. It's extremely well-rounded. It's probably one of my favorite shows, or has become one of my favorite shows. I believe the way that Open Air Shakespeare has driven this show, totally understandable for all ages. You know, young, old, I think everyone will really enjoy it. I know a lot of my students will be coming, I hope, and I hope that they will enjoy it and take something from it. It's definitely a story that everyone can take something from, whether it's, you know, relationship, parent-child relationship, or, you know, romantic relationships, friendships even. It's got a lot of relationships, which is, you know, the foundation of everything. So I believe everyone can take something away from the show, and I believe everyone will laugh along